Hello, everyone. We're Sky and Mackayla, and today we welcome Angela Liu to the soundtrack of our lives. Angela is a marketing manager and PR/artist manager, and she'll talk to us a bit about her work, her view of the industry, and how to navigate it. Welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here as well.
Would you like to start by telling us a little bit more about yourself, how you got here, how you got involved in the music industry? Was this always your dream?
Yeah, for sure. I'm currently working at a music marketing agency. We specialize in the international market. So we focus on the Chinese market. And I am currently working with a roster of artists ranging from pop to EDM and a lot of indie artists that we work with. A few known ones are Sabrina Carpenter, Keshi, Taylor Swift, and many more. And how I got into the industry is I moved to LA for grad school. I did my program at USC in communication management. And while studying at USC, I was originally very passionate to get into the film industry, film and TV. But then after moving to LA, I realized there is a really big focus on the music industry. Like I had no idea it was so big here. And it seems like everyone's making music or working in the industry. So I was very curious and to know about the industry a little bit more. So I was really lucky to able to intern at a record label called AA Rising for one semester. So that kind of opened my perspective of how the music industry works and slowly kind of grew my interests with the music industry. So then I wanted to work in this industry after I graduated. But then the pandemic hit and everything was just put into pause. There was a lot of layoffs, hiring freezes, especially for entertainment. So I was really frustrated because I just couldn't find a job anywhere. I know everyone else was struggling. It was very interesting that one of my connections, he was an artist at the time. He was independent and he was looking for somebody to help him with his either like marketing, kind of help him to promote his music a little bit. So I reached out to him thinking that, oh, you know what, I can apply to what I learned at school from my internships to help him since I'm not really doing anything, but I don't want to waste my time just sitting here and doing nothing. So I pitched myself to him saying like, I would love to be your manager and also help you with marketing and just promote your music and see how this goes because both of us, we didn't really know how everything worked at the time, but it was kind of just trial and error. So he agreed to do this. And actually, he is the manager for Justin now. So he was releasing a lot of music in the hip hop genre. I was working with him, kind of try to figure out how to pitch his music kind of from scratch. I didn't really have a lot of experience in PR, but I kind of just learned from attending some panels. I did this like PR certificate thing that really helped me. So then I started pitching his music everywhere to everybody. It actually worked out at the end. So then from that, I was able to use that experience to get my first full-time job. And then now being my current position right now. Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that I like that you were kind of just going, like getting it for yourself during the pandemic when I feel like a lot of people just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was really difficult. I was looking for ways to kind of use my time wisely. And then I really have to thank Edward because it was a one-of-a-kind opportunity. I don't think it was easy to figure this out. But yeah, I'm just glad it worked out. And I've actually learned so much from this experience as well as from working with him. So I think he actually helped me a lot with my career path as well as me helping him to develop his music and his career. So yeah, really shout out to him.
You'd also mentioned that you were interested in the film industry early on. What would you have got into in the film industry? Just curious.
Yeah, so I studied communication management. I think there were a few routes that we can go into the real world. Some of my classmates went into like the data analysis route, and then there is the PR, like corporate PR route, and then there was marketing. So what I am currently doing, and then I think there was another one I couldn't remember for now. But at first, I wanted to go into film marketing, wanting to work at big studios and just helping those studios to promote the films and TVs. But then as well, the pandemic hit, and I think the movie industry also got hit, I think, way more severe than the music industry because of in person going to the movie theater. At least for music, we still have streaming and a lot of digital aspects to it. But I think for movies, TVs is very difficult. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't think they were gonna be putting movies out that no one was gonna be able to go
Yeah.
see. And then putting everything on like Netflix or like Disney Plus and those things. It's not the same amount of money that they can make.
It's definitely not the same as compared to maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah, sure.
Do you feel like marketing and doing like campaigns and all of that nowadays is difficult because of maybe social media or AI? How do you manage to do those things when now there's so many resources that
Yeah, Sky is really into AI right now.
Oh yeah, no, I see it all over TikTok and social media. Yeah, I think it has become more difficult for marketers like me in the music industry. There are so many platforms that we need to be on, and we need to think about all these different types of aspects on different platforms for the artists to promote their music to be successful. There's just so many different things that we need to think about and be more creative because there's always somebody else who is already creative and using these strategies on these platforms. And we really have to think about how to break this threshold of, getting stuck just using the same type of ideas again and again. We always have to think about what is another new way to promote this type of music. Yeah, I think that is a challenge that everyone is experiencing in the market. But then I think with the rise of TikTok, there is an opportunity for us to be more creative in a sense. I think TikTok is both beneficial, but also makes our job more difficult in a way. We're able to connect with fans on a deeper level using these social media platforms. But then at the same time, we have to think about the best way to capture the fans' attention. Yeah, I think it's kind of 50-50 at the moment.
Okay. Following that question, do you feel like eventually people can get replaced by having everything? I mean, I feel like people wouldn't get completely replaced because I feel like someone will still need to program stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe do you feel like eventually they're gonna need less marketing and PR people and all that?
Because AI will replace.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope no, but
I hope not. Yeah, that is an area to think about because it's so funny that AI has been so popular this year. I think everyone's kind of talking about it. I'm sure you know about ChatGPT. People use it for all types of work they do. Yeah, like when you enter, please create a marketing campaign into ChatGPT for like a music artist, they'll actually give you a list of like all the things that you need to do for a campaign. So it is very scary to think about like, then do we not need any more like marketing people anymore? We can just type in the sentence for ChatGPT and then they'll just come up with a campaign without us have to really think about. It's very scary to think about that AI can replace people in some way. But then I do think that with humans, we have the ability to capture emotions. That's something that AI probably cannot do.
Hopefully never. That'd be
Hopefully
scary.
never. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think emotions and connections plays a big role, an important role in music industry. Like the fans want to feel some type of emotions from listening to an artist's music or looking at what they're doing, being engaged in their marketing campaign. There's type of emotions and connections that they build to the artist in order to engage with their music. I think that's an area that AI hasn't breakthrough yet. Hopefully not. And that's, when we come in, try to make the campaign more humanized or building more connections to the fans instead of just throwing them like, oh, okay, here's the music, listen to it, and that's it.
So if you're not putting it into ChatGPT, how do you create a campaign or start?
That is a very good question. For big artists who are already popular and who has released a lot of music, it's very easy for them because they can just post it on their social media and say, oh, I'm releasing my music next month or in a few months. Please pre-save on Spotify and things like that. But for a very small artist, Edward, who I worked with in the past, he's independent. He has no record label, no management, nothing. No one else who's helping him with this. So we kind of just do it ourselves, DIY. My approach is that focusing on getting him pressed and submitting his music to a playlist usually works for a lot of independent artists. First would be increasing their streams. Once you get the numbers up, then the publications would see, oh, okay, he's getting a lot of streams, a lot of people are listening to their music. Then they're more interested in featuring his music on their publications or, doing an interview. From that approach, it's a little easier for independent artists to promote their music. I come in as a publicist to pitch your music to different publications and hoping to get as many as features for the artist. So then for the next release, it just gets better and better. He gets more exposure for himself and his music.
I feel like that makes sense, especially with big artists. They just, hey, I have this coming up. And then everyone's just like, okay, cool. We saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think most artists nowadays, they are leaning more towards using TikTok to promote their music. So they really see the platform as the most important platform to use to promote their music. They focus a lot on TikTok campaigns. For example, Sabrina Carpenter, one of our clients, her song Nonsense has been trending on TikTok for the longest time.
Now that you mentioned TikTok, I know someone mentioned before that sometimes it's hard to keep that engagement and actually create like a fandom kind of thing on TikTok, because when it's trending, sometimes we just use the songs or we listen to the song because it's catchy, but then we're not really interested in the rest of whatever they're doing. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's true? Or how do you guys try to manage that?
I think for some artists, sometimes when one of their songs is trending on TikTok and it goes away, and then you forget about them afterwards. So you're like, oh, I know that song from TikTok. That's the singer. But then after that, you're like, oh, I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a challenge for a lot of artists right now. It's called the one song wonder.
Yeah.
For marketing people or people who work on these artists' team, they really have to dive in on how to utilize this trend, but also continuously maintaining the momentum is definitely something that we are all trying to think about. Yeah, I think for Nonsense, for Sabrina's song, I think it's successful in a way that from their label's side, they're always using the song and they're encouraging people to do the dance challenge with the song. So then it kind of just continued for a very long time. So I think that's something that other artists can look up to and also use similar strategies as well.
How do you consider a song trending successful, like it's actually trending? Sometimes I'm like, oh wow, this song is like trending because I'm scrolling and it's everywhere, and then I go look and there's only like 600 videos. It just happened to be on my feed.
I think that's a really good question. For TikTok, there is a category when you open the app and when you want to post a video and then you select the music. There is a category that says viral songs, I believe. The song is in that category, then it would consider it as trending. But it also happens like see the song everywhere on your feed, and then you might go into the song and say, oh, only 600 people use. I think that means that it is going to be increasing. So it's going to be trending. It's about to be more trendy, I think. And then I think for Instagram, it also does the same thing. For real, when you try to upload a video, you can select the music. It also suggests that there's some trending songs with like an arrow up. So then you know all of these songs are trending. Like you should probably use these for your background music.
Okay, well now that makes sense. Yeah. Mackayla, you want to introduce our section?
Okay, so we have a new section. We didn't get to play it with Justin because we hadn't created it at that point. But it is called Questions No One Wants Answers To, where we answer the most ridiculous questions we could find or think of.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good one, I feel like. If you could make the water smell like anything, what would it smell like?
I would make the water smell like Watermelon.
Ooh.
Because watermelon is one of my favorite fruits.
Mhm.
The taste is very refreshing, especially in the
Yes.
summer because I'm based in LA, mostly pretty hot throughout the year. So I think would help people to feel refreshed and just to feel like summer all year long, I guess.
That's a really good answer.
I have to be honest. So I don't mind watermelon, but I hate the smell.
Ah, yeah.
So that wouldn't work for you.
No.
Yeah, so might not work for
No.
everyone.
I don't
But
know.
I feel like most people like it, yeah.
I would go with some sort of like cleaner, fresh scent, I'd have to say.
But I
Because,
don't want my water to smell like a cleaner thing.
well, no, just not like a cleaner, but like a clean scent. You know, like cotton or something like that.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just make mine smell like lime or lemon, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lime would be cool.
I don't know. I feel like that would be good.
If you were a goldfish, what would your name be?
Oh my God, that's really hard.
Sky, do you have an answer?
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I could be called the same. I could just be Sky the goldfish.
That's so boring.
I know that's really lame.
I want to go something crazy, like a Greek mythology name or something would be fun.
Well, I've always had some names if I want to become a rapper. So I think the
Mhm.
first name I can think of is Angie from the block, inspired by Jennifer Lopez
I like it.
for a goldfish.
You could be from the tank instead because you're a goldfish.
Yeah, from a tank. So I'll be around in the water.
Okay, so if you could replace all the grass in the world with something else, what would it be and why?
Oh my gosh. I would replace it with.
There's so much grass in the world.
Also, it doesn't have to be functional, you know?
Okay.
It can be anything.
I feel like it would be cool to do something from like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. My favorite scene is when they're in that Jello house. So if I could replace all the grass, it would probably be with that giant Jello house, just like a million of those. Which logistically doesn't make sense because also I don't get how they can't breathe inside that Jello house, but that's not relevant.
So you mean more like Jello? That's what
Yeah.
you would put instead of grass.
That'd be fun. You could just bounce on it. Yeah, assuming it was similar to the Cloudy Like a Chance of Meatballs Jello and not real Jello.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it would be a little bit slippery, no?
But they don't slip around on it in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So it has to be that Jello, not real Jello. Imaginary Jello.
Okay, well, now that's getting very confusing.
I would replace it with candies on the floor.
Any particular kind?
I guess a variety of candies because people like different kinds of candies. It would be fun because people can, if they have low blood sugar, they can just grab one and eat it. Yeah, eating candy makes me feel happy.
Do you have a favorite candy?
Yes, but I don't think they sell this in the US. So I'm originally from Canada. They have this peach fuzzy candy. It's shaped like around, and then the color is like a peachy color, but they don't sell it here, I think. Unfortunately.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Just smuggle it across the border.
Yeah.
I would replace the grass with blankets. Not any type of blankets. They have to be extremely soft. Anyone can sit down.
Just take a nap.
Yeah, and they could always stay clean.
I think that's so helpful. For a music festival, you can just lay down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it be just like one blanket or would it be like multiple blankets? Could you like tuck yourself in under a blanket lying down on them?
No. The
Oh.
blanket is like the floor. It will be like very comfortable and soft.
And the last one, if you were forced to participate in a flash dance, what song would you perform to and why?
So I've been really into Blackpink lately.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to Coachella this weekend and then saw them live. So they were really cool. I really like one of their songs right now called Shut Down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll perform that.
Okay. I would do one of the High School Musical scenes, but it would have to be kind of very similar to the actual scene. The one where they're in a cafeteria, that would just be so fun. Just in the middle of lunch. But it would have to be like the same scene. I wouldn't just do it in the middle of nowhere.
Probably I'd just do Waffle House just because it's really stuck right now. Like it's playing a lot.
Like when you joined the podcast and I had background music and it was Waffle House.
Yeah. I feel like that would be fun. I don't know what the dance will be though.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what the dance would be to that either.
Okay, back to our regular schedule.
You mentioned that there are like several different campaigns that you've kind of based what you've done off of. Is there a particular artist campaign that really inspires you?
Oh, yeah. I remember 2 years ago or a year ago, one of the K-pop bands, they did a marketing campaign for their new album release called Sticker. Their band is called NCT 127, and they are trying to break into the US market. They actually partner up with a boba store based in the
Ooh.
US called Boba Guys. And then they had these food trucks going around the city. I think there was one in LA, one in New York. One of their songs is called Lemonade. So I think they had lemonade flavored drinks that was offered in the food truck, I guess. And they were driving around the cities, and fans could purchase the drinks with the flavor from the album. So kind of connecting everything together. And they also have a slip that's on the cup with the members' photos or things like that. I didn't participate because I saw the lineup on IG stories. Okay, there's so many people. I really wanted to get one, but I couldn't. But I thought it was a very interesting in-person campaign. I feel like they're usually very effective because people just get the mood of, oh, like they're coming up with new music. This is what they're doing. I'm going to participate. It feels more real than just on social media.
Sounds really interesting. Yeah. I've never seen things like that. Like at least for music, no, I haven't seen things like that.
I think they usually post on social media under the labels accounts. I don't think it's really out there to the public.
That's cool. Never thought about a campaign for an album being related to food.
Yeah, a lot of fans are within like the Asian demographics, and Asian people love food and boba. So I think connecting those two together is really helpful to drive engagement for their new music.
It's a really unique way.
Yeah. But I feel like we all love food.
For sure.
Especially when it's free.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's free. I think you had to pay for it. I'm not completely sure.
It's very smart if it was free.
Yeah, I believe the group partnered up with Interscope Records, so they probably develop all the campaign stuff. So,
But also think about it. If it's not free and you're like a big fan of the group and you're like, oh my God, they're doing this.
I would buy it.
Yeah, like you would buy it. And that's also some way to get some money for other stuff as well.
Just like to take money from the fans.
always, right?
So what is the most important thing that you have learned so far when it comes to PR?
Do not take no as an answer and do not take rejections personally. When I first started doing PR for these independent artists, it was very difficult because I didn't know who to contact. And when I emailed them, I always get rejection emails like, no, this is not the music we're looking for. So I felt very bad because I really wanted to help these artists to promote their music. I thought their music is pretty cool and they have a really interesting background, but that didn't stop me from continue to push their music and just keep pitching to different people, networking with people in the industry, getting contacts from different publications, and just constantly pitching their music to them. Yeah, at the end, things do work out for people who are starting in the industry. It is very difficult in the beginning, but then as you keep trying and connect with a lot of people and getting mentors in the industry, it does feel good at the end. It feels very rewarding to see your artist's music on one of cool publication. You're like, oh yeah, I did that work. That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. So it's a difficult industry. How do you kind of balance your mental health versus the industry?
The industry is very male dominated.
Yes, for sure.
The lack of diversity, which is improving in the past few years, to navigate everything and also maintain my good mental health. One of my ways to relax is attending a lot of concerts and festivals. Always a good time to enjoy music without thinking about anything, but also in a lot of like supporting groups for the music industry, such as, Girls Behind the Rock Show. And then there's also another group for Asian Americans in the music industry. Groups like these are very supportive. They've really helped me in the past, even until now. I met a lot of cool people through these communities, and also just talking to friends who are working in the music industry or entertainment industry, because we kind of understand what we're going through. Yeah. So because when I talk to other people working in other industries, they don't really understand, like, oh, they just feel like, oh, it's very glamorized, but they don't really understand the challenges or the things that we are going through as somebody who's working behind the scene. Yeah, just connecting with other people, talking to them about your struggles or how you feel, and finding ways to de-stress away from the industry, like other things that you can do to help you to feel good about where you are.
Following that, I feel like with musicians, or for example us as well, sometimes times are not set. You could be working at like 11 p.m. or 3 in the morning whenever something happens, or sometimes you're working during the weekends. How is it for you? Do you have set hours, or sometimes do you find yourself working in hours where you're just like, I shouldn't be working right now?
Yeah, definitely. Even though my company, we have like set hours, usually from 10 to 6. But when an artist is releasing a new project, we have to kind of follow that, especially because we're working for the Asian market and time zone differences. Or during releases, I'll probably be working until 12, like midnight, and then throughout the night, like from 7 p.m. I do some work, I rest a little bit, and there's something comes up at like 10 p.m. Yeah, so it could get a little chaotic when it's around release time. But then during the holidays, I think around after Thanksgiving, things start to die down a little bit in the music industry. So then I can relax a little bit. But yeah, in this industry, it could get really crazy sometimes. That's expectation for people to understand.
If you could manage any artist, who would it be?
And why?
There is a lot of cool artists that I want to manage.
You can name a few if it's easier.
So maybe Tinashe, because I know that she was signed to Sony for a while and then her contract ended. So then now her music is not being promoted as much when she was signed. I think there's some conflict going on with the label. I think her current management is not doing the best job to promote her music. Don't come at me. I think it's rocking. I hope they're not gonna hunt me down. But I think she's a very talented artist. A smart marketing strategy would really help her to move forward with her career and her music. And then there is another artist called Twee. She's also independent. I don't think she's signed to any label, but she has a management team. She's a new, like, up and rising, this Vietnamese American R&B singer. I really like her sound, her style, and I think she has a lot of potential to grow. Someone like her, I would definitely want to manage and work with.
Do you guys usually reach out to the people you want to manage, or is it always them trying to reach out looking for management?
That's a really good question. Because for me, I'm only working with independent artists. I think may work a little differently with artist management companies. I would say that artists would probably reach out to artist management companies because they're more stabilized and they have more connections and more resources for the artists. But I think for indie artist managers like me, if we see a good artist out there and we don't see anybody who's representing them, we would reach out to see if they're interested in working together. But I think sometimes they'll also reach out to managers themselves. Yeah, it depends.
This is kind of a very vague question, but what is your biggest dream that you can achieve with your career, if that makes sense?
One of my goals is to work at either a record label or a streaming service and work in their management executive level position. And then the other goal is to, I don't know, eventually start my own company where we do artist management and then PR and also a little bit of touring. So that is a company that I dream of, and then hoping to promote Asian artists in the US. Yeah, I think that's one of my goals as well.
Okay. Our very last question. What is the soundtrack of your life?
It's so hard to name just one soundtrack.
I mean, it's your soundtrack, so it can be as long or as small or...
Oh, it could be like multiple songs.
Yeah.
I actually have a playlist called Boss Has Been, and I listen to it.
I love it.
Trying to pump myself up. maybe Independent Women by Destiny's Child. I think that's my soundtrack for now.
Okay, I love that.
That's a great song.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us. It's been a great conversation. We hope you had fun with our questions, with our random questions as well.
Yeah.
Before I forget, do you want to share your socials with our listeners or any information that you want to put out there?
And then for anybody who's interested in connecting with me, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn, which is Angela Liu.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been so fun. And I really hope your podcast can grow. It's a very cool platform to learn more about other people in the industries.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
We're excited too, obviously. Listeners, go check it out and make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at SDO Lives Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.